fans of the Los Angeles Rams. What the heck is up? All right, Sheriff Joe Bags here. We're bringing back live streams. All right, so before we hop into some of the action here, just wanted to do a little bit of house cleaning in the sense that Ram Showcase is going to be going live every Monday. That is the plan, and this is where Fan Quesos will reside. So it'll be like a live conversation, not just you filling in the comments or the questions and then me hopping in afterwards and then kind of answering them. Also would give you a chance to respond, as that has been somewhat of an issue in some of my my previous answers, as maybe I didn't understand the question or anything like that. So this is where that is going to be. But we are heading into week 1, and this live stream is not just about me. We've got other people to hang out with. We got Payo time. What up, Payo?
Hey, how's it going, Sheriff Joe?
Incredible, man. Zero at all. Also got Rams House, two of the most awesome YouTube channels joining this YouTube channel to talk some LA Rams, man. And so we got the season. We are right around the corner. Did this offseason feel like super, super short to you two as well?
Well, it helps when you're the Super Bowl champions. It makes it a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, because with this being my first, like the first time I've ever seen the Rams win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, I didn't really know it. Like, I guess I just forgot about the part about it being a fast off season. So I totally agree with that. I would say like I really only became like super excited for the season probably like around start of July, maybe mid-July, just because like we already won it, and we already had a lot of different things throughout the offseason, so it definitely felt short to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing, though, too, is like even 2018, after that offseason felt extremely short as well. It was like almost didn't feel like I had time to reset. Before we start talking about this new season, though, I did want to just hop in real fast and just let you know that we are having a Rams Showcase t-shirt giveaway tonight, and it is extremely easy to enter. All I need from you is to comment whose house, and you already know the answer to that question. Also, I'll just get out some paper here. What we're going to do, I'll let you know, is I will take names down. Excuse me. I will take names down, and then I'm going to like randomize them. I'm not going to take them down in order or anything like that. And then these two gentlemen this way are going to pick a number, and then I'm going to go right dead center of those numbers. We'll take the average of those, and then that will be the winner of a Rams Showcase t-shirt.
That's so good.
Everybody's just commenting Rams House. You know what? I'll take either. I'll take Rams House or whose house. I also do not have a pen with me.
Oh, no.
So I will do that here in just 1 second. Oh, thanks, man. Okay. Okay, so what we'll go ahead and do is to start this off, if there's any questions popping in, please just drop your questions. We'll be sitting here for a little bit to answer those. Not too long on your Labor Day, but we will pop in with any of those. But first and foremost, I wanted to ask, we'll start with you, Payo. Tell the people what your expectations are of this Rams team emotion-wise. Do you think that there's anything about this team that is going to be like, hey, we won it all last year, we can kind of take it easy, we're the best? Or do you see this team hungry again and going to go after it? You answer that, I'm going to go grab a pen.
Yeah, I think the expectations are a blessing. If you've watched my channel, you know I talk about I'm so thankful to have expectations of a Super Bowl win as your expectation for your team. Because there's other years that you don't have that expectation, and those aren't nearly as fun. And it's fun knowing that when you go to turn on that TV, you're going to watch that game. Your team has a shot at winning or should win. And there's no team in the NFL that I don't think the Rams can beat. I think there's other good teams, and we might lose here and there, but I absolutely think we have the opportunity to repeat as Super Bowl champions. There's a lot of good factors that are going the Rams' way. And as a fan, what more can you ask for than an opportunity to win the Super Bowl 2 years in a row?
Absolutely, man. I'm with you there. What about you, Rams House? What do you think this vibe is going to be of this team? You think we're still hungry?
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel like that is still the case. Like, there's a lot of teams after you win the Super Bowl, like they're satisfied and they maybe fall off of after that point, or they just don't want it as much. But just like, if you guys are the type of people, which I know for sure Joe is the type of person who loves to watch the press conferences and everything like that, and you just like watch everything that the Rams put out as far as media goes, like everybody is speaking the same type of wavelength, the same type of breadth of yeah, we know we won last year, but this is a completely new team. Like as soon as it's September 8th, it turns the page. It's a new season. It doesn't matter what we did. People don't care. So I, just like Payo, think that they have a great shot of going back to the Super Bowl. I think they arguably got better. And that's just kind of scary because they already won the Super Bowl. And then just being able to kind of gauge the mindsets of what the Rams players were saying and some of the coaches, it feels like this team's not done. Like they're ready to go and win it again. And they know that just because they won last year, it doesn't mean, okay, everybody respects us. That means this year is a lock. So to answer your question in a long form, yes, I'm confident in this team to go back to the Super Bowl, and I think it's going to be a fun year.
Yeah, I think that the improvement on the defensive side of the football simply by going from Troy Reeder to Bobby Wagner, I don't think that's getting enough attention, like as far as national media goes. Of course, we talk about that kind of thing a lot, but I mean, Troy Reeder, we obviously had our complaints about certain aspects of his game, but those all go away with Bobby Wagner, who is definitely a future Hall of Famer, sure tackler. And I mean, even I was watching some of the Rams highlights from last year, and even against the Seahawks there, I mean, you see him flying around the field. Like people want to say he's getting older and all this stuff, and yeah, of course, we all are getting older every day. That's just kind of how time works. But he's not slowing down, which is good to see. And then also you look at the offensive side and you consider guys like Allen Robinson coming in. Allen Robinson doesn't have a ring, so he's going to be hungry. He wants one for sure. Cam Akers missed most of the season last year. He comes in late and he just kind of barely comes in there. You got to think that a guy like Aaron Donald, maybe he's like, hey, I should have been Super Bowl MVP. So maybe he's, shooting for some other stuff as well. So,
well, and on that note, like, don't forget about Matthew Stafford, who had 12 years of just like living in the desert where he didn't have a single playoff win. Do you think he wants to just be like, okay, I got my one, Super Bowl ring. I can now coast the rest of my career? No way. No. He wants to compete for more Super Bowls, and that's why we traded to go get him. And I still think we've won that trade already, but that's the beauty of it. As long as Stafford is with the Rams, the trade is not yet complete in its evaluation.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And you're right. That's one of those things too. Like, does Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, do all of these guys want to just have are they just like, hey, we did it. We're good with the rest of the world saying that we were a one-off for the rest of time. Like, oh, that 1 year was good for the Rams, but after that they were only okay. Like, I don't think anybody part of this organization is wanting that. So I feel really good about entering this year. But we've talked about a few of these players, but those are all big names that I've mentioned so far. We'll start with you, Rams House. Is there anybody on this team that you think is maybe primed to have a large impact that maybe people aren't considering?
Yeah, I do. I feel like there's a lot of people on this team that I feel that way about. But we were talking about this earlier today with Allen Robinson. Like, I don't know. I know that people look at where he's been and everything almost similar to the way Stafford was in Detroit, where they don't really they don't value him as like an elite receiver or things like that. But I think this year he's going to put up production that elite receivers do, and he's going to be one of those players that like we're going to be excited every single play because he's the type of player who can change the game. And obviously we know that he adds a different dynamic to this offense that we haven't had. So I think Allen Robinson, you hear the way he talks and you hear the way he's talking to Cooper Kupp and different players, how they regard him, and they're talking about how he loves the fundamentals of each play and not knowing, okay, I'm just going to run a slant, but why am I running a slant and which zone should I go to? He cares about the little details, and I think that goes a long way as well as what he can do physically. And obviously we know those 50-50 balls in his hands and everything like that. I think with all the attention going to Cooper Kupp and with Allen Robinson maybe being a little bit underrated around the NFL, even among players, I think that's just going to really help him to have a prime year with the Rams.
Absolutely. Payo, you got any names there?
There's so many names that come to mind. If you ask me this question in an hour, my answer might change. But I'm going to go with a guy that was just named team captain, Rob Havenstance.
Yes.
I would love to see, RH have a couple of blocks that just lets Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson and Kyren Williams break, a 50-yard run. And when they watch the replay, we can be like, there's Rob. There he is. That's our guy. And he's someone who's been with the Rams a while. I can't correct me. I can't think of the exact year he was drafted, but he's been with us for a while. He's one of the longest tenured Rams. And I'm so thankful that we have the opportunity to cheer him on for his whole career as a Ram.
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that he was actually brought in the same year as Donald. So they're like,
oh, cool.
I know he's one, two St. Louis Rams, which is Aaron Donald as well as the other. My guys are on the offensive line. I'm looking at Noteboom at left tackle. I'm looking at Havenstein at right tackle. With Havenstein getting captain for the first time in his career, I love that. I mean, he's been just like such a solid rock at that spot, and like he doesn't get a lot of attention. No one really talks about how awesome Rob Havenstein is, but he's just been so solid at right tackle dating back to the St. Louis years. So that's amazing. And then Noteboom, he's been, I mean, when we needed him to play in the playoffs last year, and no one looks back at like the Tampa Bay game and like, yeah, we were awesome, but that left tackle spot was just getting lit up all day. Like, no, he played fine. And then Coleman Shelton coming in as a starter as well. And I know Logan Bruss was in that conversation before he went down for the year, but I remember I said something about like Logan Bruss was going to get reps at left guard, and somebody's like, well, why would they do that? He was going to start at right guard. Like, no, he was not going to start at right guard. Coleman Shelton is like, he's that guy. Bruss was going to be a backup, and behind Edwards and Shelton, I think that would have made sense. Of course, we wish Bruss a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can contribute next year. But I love this offensive line right now. Coleman Shelton, I don't think is getting enough respect. Rob Havenstein, it feels like is starting to finally get respect with that C on his chest now. And then Noteboom, I think is going to pleasantly surprise people. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm excited to see what he does. And on the defensive side of the football, it's so hard to not say Wagner here, but I'm gonna avoid it because I really do think that is such a massive improvement. I'm going to say Justin Hollins at edge, opposite of Flo. I think that he's going to be one of those guys that we kind of just are like, oh man, like he's okay. Like we do have another guy opposite of Flo. So I'm really excited to see that. By the way, before we keep moving on, if you're commenting whose house or Rams house, apparently, then you are entered in to win a Rams Showcase t-shirt tonight. And I can only not see comments from Twitter because Twitter doesn't work that way. But if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you comment, I will see it, and you'll get on this list here, and then we'll randomize a list, and you will win a Ram Showcase t-shirt. Or as we have a comment here, it says if you comment Payo's house, you can win his t-shirt. Which may or may not be true, but yeah.
Either I has a reputation of spreading rumors about me in comment section.
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
I wanted to ask you guys about, because I had already named Robinson. Again, there's a lot of different players that you can look at, like that they're not really getting a lot of attention, but as Rams fans, we can expect them to have a big year. But somebody who like I try to continually bring up that I feel like Rams fans are forgetting about is Troy Hill. Like I feel like that is a big addition that really isn't getting talked about enough. And they think like, oh yeah, he didn't work out for the Browns. I just think he fits our scheme a lot better, and we were able to see what he's able to do. And I think that obviously our defense isn't the same as when we had Staley here, but we have a lot of the concepts that we like to use. It's a lot of the fundamental types of things. So I'm really looking out for Troy Hill, and I think that he can be a guy who can, again, always be around the football or be an interception machine, especially with Jalen Ramsey being the guy that you don't want to target. Obviously, we'll see how they use him, but I just want to bring up Troy Hill's name again just because I feel like he doesn't get a lot of attention. I think he'll have a pretty big year.
Yeah, I mean, with D-Will last year, we felt really good about going him into the season. And I don't think he necessarily had a bad season, but being opposite of Jalen Ramsey and not being able to get any picks on the year, I mean, I just don't think that comes off as awesome. You know what I mean? Like you should be the one that is getting all of those because no one wants to throw at Ramsey. And then, of course, I mean, on the defensive side, I was extremely critical of Raheem Morris all year. And I wouldn't say he's completely out of the doghouse for me yet. Like I've got some people that are mad that I have not yet fully converted into being Team Raheem, but I will say that during that playoff run, the defense was unbelievable, and I think he schemed it up flawlessly. You know what I mean? But it was just those early season stuff that I have a hard time forgetting that we had Troy Reader covering Devontae Adams on third down. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff is still like, it's like, well, does that still exist in our team, or is he actually going to put people in good positions?
Because he obviously had a great playoff run. I feel like the defense was playing really great in the playoffs, but Yeah, I'm with you. There's like some of those moments that I'm like, is that out of our system now? Like, why was that the case? I still remember Leonard Floyd being in coverage on receivers. Like, there's like just man to man. I just feel like there's just certain things I didn't like, but as long as he can continue what he's doing in the playoffs, and I think he knows a lot more about this system. He didn't come in and create an entirely new system. Again, he has a lot of the concepts that we did run before. He added a little bit of a twist to it. So I think that having a little bit of experience after a year with it will help him. And then obviously you have guys on this team that are leaders who are not afraid to speak up. Like one of the games when Jalen Ramsey was like yelling at him. Like I think it's good that we have guys like that because it's going to keep him accountable.
Yeah, I love that, by the way.
I'm someone who, when I was critical of Raheem, I was always more critical of him situationally. I think that system-wise, he was great. Like he was great last year. Just situationally, like you said, like Troy Reader covering Devontae Adams, things like that. That's where my main criticism came. But I'll be honest, I'm Team Raheem. We won the Super Bowl. I'm glad he's back. I'm so glad he didn't get a coaching job and it was Kevin O'Connell because both of them were in the running for the Vikings job. I'd much rather have to replace an offensive coordinator because Sean McVay is our head coach than a defensive coordinator again. And I'm Team Raheem all the way.
I mean, KOC getting that job makes total sense. And sidebar is I think that makes the Minnesota Vikings a player in the NFC this year, honestly. Getting KOC, I think that makes them that's a big difference. But also, I ain't mad about it because Liam Cohen coming in. I think that this guy, I think he makes us better. I mean, he definitely doesn't hurt us going from Kevin O'Connell to Liam Cohen. And I don't know, this is not scheme important at all, but that hat that he's been rocking in his pressers is so sick. I love that one, man. It's the white with the word mark. Big fan of that.
You just need a bone one with the word mark on it.
Yeah,
I would love that, dude. I'm riding the bone color so hard this year because because it's going away. Because we only get it 2 times this year, I'm repping that so much harder this season. Have to, man. I'm gonna miss it. After week 3, we don't see it again.
So I got a question for you guys and anyone in the chat as well. Is what is one Rams off-season take or headline or storyline that you are just tired of hearing? Like it got way overplayed.
Rams house, you want to go for this one first?
I feel like it's the Matthew Stafford elbow thing. Like I've heard that so many times. Like there's been a lot of different takes, and I still feel like for the Rams to be like a Super Bowl champion, we still don't really get talked about enough, which I'm kind of fine with. But like the Matthew Stafford elbow thing, like people are talking about how this is gonna make us not even be a contender this year. I've seen people saying like Matthew Stafford like had a great year, but now it's all over because his elbow. Like I don't know. I've just heard a lot about that, and like Matthew Stafford, he's dealt with so many different injuries throughout his entire career, and a lot of them we probably didn't even hear about because that's just the type of player he is. And so like an elbow thing, but he's still able to throw it everywhere. Like I'm not buying it, and I feel like we've just heard that a lot. So that's me.
I'm gonna go with OBJ. I'm going to go with OBJ because he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl, which was in February. So I immediately said that no team should be in a hurry to sign him, but I always felt like he was going to come back to the Rams, but that there was no reason to be in a rush about it. But then, which was fine, then we kept seeing the whole storylines of like, oh, is he going to the Bills? Is he going to the Saints? Is he going to the Packers? Is he going to the Rams? And it was like, all right, we don't know yet, and we don't it's fine. Like he's not going to play in the first part of the season anyway. And then you got videos of him talking with Kupp, and he's like, "I'll see you December 13th," which is a Tuesday. So I guess that makes sense in like the game week. You know what I mean? Like that. Like maybe he would return to practice on that day or something like that. But that one to me is the one that's like, it's like we don't need to worry about OBJ right now. Like September, November, like none of that does not matter for OBJ. So let's go ahead and just like not worry about it. I fully anticipate that he does come back. And Rams house, you brought up a very good point with that of like it's very possible that there's something agreed upon already between the two. And and we're just not going to know about it. And I actually kind of took that approach too of like maybe it's a thing where we want to put him on short-term IR, which is only so long. So let's go ahead and wait so that we can sign him, put him on short-term IR, and then we could time it out with him returning instead of just doing it right now. What about you, Payo? Which one are you sick of?
The number one I'm sick of, it's a take, and I feel like I've heard tons of YouTubers say this. I've seen tons of like sports media analysts who get paid way more money than they should say, I don't see the Rams win the Super Bowl game. It's really hard to win the Super Bowl back to back. It hasn't been done since like the 03 Patriots. And like, it's just the most annoying, obnoxious voice that comes in my head possible whenever it's there. Because like, if literally your only reason for not predicting the Rams to win the Super Bowl is that, well, it's hard to do it 2 years in a row.
It's hard to do it once. Like, come on.
Come on. And like, so like, I think you have to like, you almost have to play the game of like, okay, pretend the Rams didn't win the Super Bowl last year. Do you think they can win it this year? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
well, like, I had, another one I'm just going to add like as a sub point to something that I've like, it's not just been this offseason. It's been basically since Sean McVay, it's the Rams don't have depth. Like that is one of the most annoying things for me because we've seen like so many different moments of how their depth steps up and plays. Like, sure, if Cooper Kupp goes down and Allen Robinson goes down, you don't have great options at wide receiver. Like they're not going to be at that level. But like, what team has that? Like, and then I've heard people say like, if the Rams lose Matthew Stafford, where's their depth? And like, we have 3 quarterbacks, and yeah, if you lost your starting quarterback, what would your situation look like? So I feel like I just kind of get tired of like also just the Rams don't have depth because I don't know. I just completely disagree with it.
Okay, so there's some comments coming in that to kind of piggyback a little bit off of this. We'll bring up this one. Losing Von Miller isn't going to stop the LA Rams from reaching and winning a Super Bowl. I absolutely agree with this. I'll piggyback on this one as well with OBJ. A lot of people talk about that too, of like if OBJ doesn't come back, then the Rams aren't going to like no, like but there is a good response to this one from the best name on YouTube, Silly Fun Guy.
Fun Guy.
This says, except for Aaron Donald, which, you know what, is reasonable because you take Aaron Donald off of this roster, maybe the Rams don't win the NFC Championship game, maybe the Rams don't win the Super Bowl. Like, those are two very real things that maybe don't happen if Aaron Donald's not on this roster. And I have not yet seen the whole, like, thing that just released or whatever of like the story of the 2021 Rams. I haven't seen any of this stuff yet, so I'm kind of like, this weekend has been absolute chaos. But
I don't think it comes until Wednesday. The me not we thing.
Yeah,
I don't think it comes till Wednesday.
Oh, nice. Actually, That's not nice. That still sucks for me. I think this week, man, it's getting me. Maybe I could watch it on the weekend though, because we will get. I hate the Thursday night games mainly, not because I don't like Thursday night football, but because it condenses my week from 7 days into 4. And then I need to do all of the same amount of things, but with 3 less days to do them all. So that's why I hate Thursday night games, but that gives you extra time the following week. So that's kind of nice as well. So maybe this Saturday night or something when I'm off work, we'll come home and watch that because that'd be really nice.
That'll be on NFL Network, right? Or
I think so. I assume so. Yeah.
I have no idea. If anybody knows, please let us know because we clearly do not.
Yeah, because there's not a way for me to be able to watch it live. So hopefully I can watch some sort of replay of it. But I'm glad that we're going to be able to get some extra content on the Rams.
Absolutely. Great question here. How do you guys feel about the return of the old banners? First of all, I really want to know where that Super Bowl banner from St. Louis has been for the last 5 or 6 years now. I'm really curious because was it just like in a warehouse or was it like up in Stan Kroenke's house? You know what I mean?
Like in a closet somewhere.
Yeah, like and the reason I don't hate the fact that the Chargers are our roommates. I know that not everybody feels that way. I'm not here to tell you that your emotions are wrong or anything like that, but for myself, I don't care. The one thing that I do care about is that we cannot keep our banners up all the time because of them. That part sucks about it. So we can have them and we will display them during our games. But I love that this banner is coming back, that St. Louis banner, and I know saying that specifically will maybe ruffle feathers, but for me, it's not a city thing. It's the fact that the Rams won a Super Bowl in '99, and we're going to celebrate that along with this newest one. So I love the fact that this is going to be here. I hope that they kind of pair up together real nicely with that old logo as well with this new one. Also, I will pay money for somebody to send me one of those little banners that they're giving to fans at this game on Thursday. So hit me up if you get one. What about we'll start with you, Payo. How do you feel about the return of this banner?
It's a reason to celebrate. It's exciting. And I was, someone who was alive. I remember watching the '99 Super Bowl as a little kid. Definitely did not appreciate it enough as a little kid, but very thankful for that season. The Kurt Warner, miracle season, you would call it. You had Marshall Faulk, you had Torrey Holt, you have Isaac Bruce, Ricky Proehl, Orlando Pace, like everyone, like Jones making that tackle on Kevin Dyson. Like I love it. And I'll randomly just go rewatch the highlights for that Super Bowl. So I'm happy that the banner will be in SoFi Stadium hanging, and we can remember it, forever and celebrate it. And the same way that we'll always treasure and celebrate this past year's Super Bowl banner.
I have one complaint about the highlights of that game, and that's simply how smoky it is.
Yeah. Analog.
Like, come on now.
It was the
Rams house. Do you have any issues with them bringing back this old banner? I have seen people that are like, don't bring that stuff here. Like, it's like, no, we want to. Yeah, I've seen. It's like, I just don't engage with, because it's that's like, there's a comment here. We'll pull up. Like, St. Louis is part of our history, whether you like that or not. I mean, it really is. It's a very critical part of this team's history. It's that 20-year gap. I do think that the Rams are an LA team. That just feels more correct to me, the Los Angeles Rams. But you can't forget or disrespect the St. Louis years just because of that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for me, this is actually my first time hearing that banner will come back, like the one from the '99 season. So that'll be cool to me. And I think that it's cool to be able to celebrate the past, just because, like, although it's not in the same location and everything, like the person who commented said, it's a part of your history. You got to celebrate it. And I'd rather celebrate it than forget it and have most people or young fans think that we only won one Super Bowl. Like, I don't know. I'm happy that we're doing it, but this is the first I've heard about it.
Do we? Sidebar. Well, I was talking to one of my buddies, and he was talking about how the Raiders fan was talking trash because we just won the Super Bowl, and he said, like, oh, you have your one ring, and he was like, no, we have two, like we won in St. Louis, and he was like, oh, that one doesn't count, it was a different city. And it's like, oh, okay, so you guys are at 0 rings then. Got it.
Oh my gosh.
That logic, that logic is big brain time over there. I love that. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So we get the respect for it. Welcome, by the way. As a St. Louis guy, held season tickets. Appreciate the banner being in SoFi. Yeah, absolutely. I feel that would be so weird to me if the Rams were like, no, we don't want anything. Like, we don't want to deal with that. But it's like, it's weird too. Like, the last time that I had seen anything from that banner was it being pulled down at the Edward Jones Dome, and then it just kind of disappeared. So excited to see it again, man, because that was like a really critical time in my my football fandom. Like, that was like about the time where I started really liking football and wanting to know more about it and getting into like Madden. I was playing Madden 2002 on my Nintendo 64 and stuff. Just like getting hyped, dude. So that's good stuff. We got a little bit of time here. I don't want to keep everybody for too long, and definitely respect the heck out of your guys' time. Don't want to keep you here forever. But if you guys haven't already, just give me the scrolling below. Drop a Who's House or a Rams House, and you are entered in to win a Rams Showcase t-shirt. There is 3 different colors, 2 different styles. One of those styles is based off of the Rams Super Bowl ring with the palm trees. That's really cool stuff. My buddy Tyler, that was actually his suggestion. So thank you, Tyler. That's such a sick idea, and I'm really mad that I wasn't the one that thought about it. but it's okay. This is not one of the colors. This is a Joe Bags exclusive over here, but we do have black, we have bone, and we have blue. So do those one. If you would like one for free, just all I need you to do is comment whose house, no matter where you're at, except for Twitter, because that's not how Twitter works. Is there anything you guys want to? What's that?
As I said, who wouldn't want a shirt? It's a pretty easy thing to comment, get a free shirt. I'd do it.
I will say there's definitely more viewers than people who have entered. So I know that there's people who are not entering. Hey, and if you don't want a Ram Showcase shirt, I understand. It's fine.
Just walk around shirtless. Fine.
I just hate you, and that's all. I just hate you. No, but if you would like to purchase one, they are $25. Just email aj.rsgear@gmail.com. You can order directly there. We're setting up a web page. That's why we are kind of waiting for or that's why it's just email right now. Sorry, I got distracted as we have another person enter.
Yeah, and Joe, while you're doing that, I see an interesting comment here from Silly Fun Guy. Marshall Faulk played smart, selfless, and elite. It seems like Kupp has a lot of the same qualities. Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
Are you asking
I was
Joe?
Trying to pull it up. Oh. Gotcha. Yeah. You know what? I absolutely agree. Because even now, like after the season that Cooper Kupp had, and of course I will continue to say that there's a lot of people that think that Kupp is going to repeat his year, and I don't think that it's impossible, but we also need to remember we just saw maybe the best wide receiver season of all time. So for him to repeat that would be absolutely incredible. I don't think it's impossible, but I do think it's unlikely. But with the way that Cooper Kupp feels like he's working, now he's getting a second year with Matthew Stafford, so they're going to be maybe they're more on the same page. I think he's in a good spot to do it. But Kupp himself, with his qualities and his personality, I think that, yeah, he does align with that a lot. He's not selfish. He just wants to win some football games, and his contribution is very powerful to winning football games because in case you didn't know, he's very good at football. So he's helping this team win games for sure. Well, what would you guys say about this comparison?
Go ahead, Payo.
Yeah, I would definitely say that there's some similarities for sure. I do think that both of them start with their football IQ as a way to beat defenders, and then their physical attributes can kind of accent that in a lot of ways. And so that's where I see like the main similarities. I obviously Kupp doing it from the wide receiver position, Faulk from the, I still think he was more of a wide back than Deebo Samuel ever was, but whatever. But Marshall Faulk from the running back position. And there's some similarities there, but differences as well, just from a positional perspective. But I think that when I look at their two games like side by side, they definitely had different running styles. I think Faulk was a little more elusive. Not that Kupp isn't elusive, but Kupp has some more kind of like, the signature like Kupp swipe, as I like to call, where he just brushes someone off that way. And I kind of feel like Kupp is maybe a little bit more in control of his body as a ball carrier. So I don't know. I again, stoked to see Cooper Kupp. I loved seeing Marshall Faulk. Do I think Cooper Kupp has the potential to be one of the fan favorite Rams of all time? Absolutely. Marshall Faulk, he rubs some people the wrong way off the field at times. I know that, but Cooper Kupp just seems like everybody loves this guy.
Yeah, Rams house.
Yeah, so for me, again, not growing up in that era, to be able to watch Marshall Faulk, I can't go as in depth and in comparisons and everything. But from what you guys are saying, if a player is like, I feel like Cooper Kupp is the definition of selfless and like a team player rather than just a me type of player where he wants the ball or, just kind of the stereotype of today's NFL. So for me, not being able to watch all the games of Marshall Faulk in real time and getting to know his personality, I can't compare these, but I'm sure there are some similarities, but I just don't want to speak on something that I'm not too familiar with.
Yeah, what I would say is that something that I would add to that list of qualities is versatility. Simply because Cooper Kupp, not only is he an incredible wide receiver, and like Payo mentioned, I mean, his ability to break tackles, we should have kind of seen this season almost coming. And I'm almost mad at myself for not like kind of saying that like Kupp could explode, because like looking back at like his previous seasons, like any of those looked like if he could have just stayed healthy, this was possible. You know what I mean? And so like even look back, that little gap there where the Rams were wearing blue and white again. So 2017, 2018. And 19. No, so it's just those two. So
they look great.
But then there was that year that the Rams played against the Chargers, and Kupp had one of those plays where he catches the ball down the right sideline, and the way he breaks out of the tackle from the Chargers players, it's like, oh, okay, like he's just that guy still, but we just didn't really know because he was missing games back then. So but then he's also getting in there on blocks. He's great blocking. He's great running the football. He's just all around a football player, but he plays at the wide receiver position. And for Marshall Faulk, I mean, he lined up out wide a lot. Like he was definitely a good receiving back. He was good at picking up blitzes. I mean, he was all over the place as well. And even like a guy like Gurley, who like great at picking up blitzes, like underrated in that. I remember him like throwing Clay Matthews. You know, what I mean? Like, that stuff is not really talked about a lot with him specifically. But
absolutely,
yeah, there's definitely similarities between their personalities. But you are right. There's definitely people that have not liked Marshall Faulk as far as his personality goes and different things like that. I've heard stories, but
yeah, well, you hear stuff, but then. I don't know. I've also seen people that love Marshall Faulk as well, like both ways. And
that's my guy, dude.
I've never met him, but I have my Marshall Faulk jersey for a reason, and I have it on my wall, proud. And I have when I go to a Rams game this year, I'm bringing my brother, who is not a Rams fan, but he will be wearing that jersey. So.
Nice. Force him into it, man.
Yep, yeah, that's the plan.
You're a Rams fan now, dude. I'm so stoked. When are you going to SoFi?
So it's crazy. I leave Saturday coming up for LA, and then I'm spending the week there doing a bunch of fun LA stuff. I'm going to wear Rams gear every day. I'm going to try and interview people on the street whenever I can. And I'm just going to have a ton of fun doing it. And then I go to the Falcons game is when I'm going.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm so stoked for you to see SoFi Stadium. That is my happy place. That is the best place on earth. I will say, like, I kind of made myself laugh because, like, going out to LA, I went out there twice last year, and wearing my Rams stuff is like showing up in LA, and it was like, oh, like, I'm from Colorado, where being a Rams fan is like a novelty. It's like, it's LA. It's not a novelty out there, but it is. That's the crazy part, is like walking up and down Venice Beach. People would be like, oh, Rams, but you don't get that here. Like, no one's like, oh, Broncos. Everybody's a Bronco fan, so it doesn't exist. But out there, it really was like oh crap, a Rams fan, even though we were literally right there. Like, that blew my mind. I was so surprised by that. So but new upgrades to SoFi Stadium too, like this year. Pink lot, man, that's where you need to go for sure. That place. Walking up and down, you see just Rams fans for what feels like miles, and just like man, I miss it. The other Rams may be hiring. Payo gets a job, works for Rams from home. Do it. Do it.
I enjoy being a Canadian Rams fan, but I'm gonna treasure it. I'm hoping it's one of the best weeks of my life. So there we go.
I'm sure it will be, man. Yeah, that's I don't even think a week is enough time. I've only done like a couple of nights, and we're not even close to like like didn't even get 5% of what I wanted to do done out there. So all right, I'm gonna give just a minute left. If anybody else wants to hop in on the shirt giveaway, just comment whose house or Rams house. Oh, we got another one here. Let's see.
Well, funny thing when you're talking about fans and everything in LA, but also in Colorado. Yeah, I've only seen if I'm putting you aside, I've only seen 3 Rams fans in Colorado my whole life. But
you saw my friend, he said. He
yeah,
told me.
Yeah, I saw him at the mall. It was so
I love
funny.
that.
And then, but yeah, the crazy underrated team that you see here all the time is actually the Bengals. Like, I don't know if you've had that experience, but whenever I'm out with my brother Johnny, he's like usually wearing Bengals things, they're always like, "Let's go Bengals," or they're like you hear that almost every trip, and I'm like, are these people? Do they just like the season they had? But like I'm always seen as like the villain. They're like, "Oh, Rams, boo, let's go Bengals." I'm like, what? But I've seen like I kid you not, like almost every trip, somebody's like saying, "Oh, go Bengals," or "Yeah, Bengals, good luck this season," like stuff like that. So
I will say
it's weird.
the two most team decked out cars I've seen local have been Bengals.
Oh yeah,
there's like a Suburban that's completely decked out, and then there's I don't know what it is. I think it's a Cadillac. It's like an older Cadillac that's completely decked out in Bengals stuff.
I don't know why that is.
Like my car, I've got like my plates say LA Rams and stuff like that. So I'll drive by them and just give them a little wink, which is always fun for me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna number these randomly, and then I'm gonna have you two pick numbers. So let's see.
Come up with the best number ever. Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could it be any number we want?
No, I have to find a total first.
1,782,000.
Yeah.
No.
Payo, what fan? Like, as far as NFL fans, what do you see the most in Canada? I know it's like not the most popular.
Seahawks Vikings, right?
No.
Oh.
So where I live, it's mostly Bills, Lions, and Patriots fans. And I live like literally about an hour away from Buffalo's stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually cool.
That is kind of cool. I didn't know, like, I was educated by an American public school, so we don't know anything about other countries, all right? But I had no idea like where you were at, like what side. I didn't know if you were like above Seattle or what, but it sounds like you're
like an hour south of Toronto.
Okay, so you're far from LA.
Oh yeah.
How long is that flight?
I think it's like a 5-hour flight.
For real?
Not
from
too
Toronto
bad.
to LA. There's a direct one, yeah.
Damn.
Interesting.
That feels well, I guess I don't know. It's not that far from here, I guess. It's only like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I've got eight here. Okay.
Okay.
You can pick any number from 1 to 8. You can even pick the same number if you want to. That's fine. I will just pick the average of that, and then if it's I need a coin here. We'll use this. It's a shrinky bin. So we'll use this. This will be the high number. This will be the low number if there is if it's like right in the middle there.
Okay. I have my number.
I have mine also.
All right. Payo, what do you got?
Cam Akers 3.
Interesting. I have Robert Woods 2.
Oh.
Okay, so it's between 2 and 3, and I've already got them numbered, so there's no.
Yeah.
So white will be 2, the dark side will be 3.
Okay.
All right. White.
Ooh.
So number 2, which means it is going to. I don't know how to say your name. This one,
Grandizer 12. Let's go.
Isn't he a Dolphins fan?
Yeah, Grandizer's a Dolphins fan.
Well, that Dolphins fan is about to be rocking a Ram Showcase T-shirt.
Yes, let's go.
So, hey man, all I need from you is just message one of the Ram Showcase social media pages at Ram Showcase, just about everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It is DMs are open on all of those, so just send me your size and address, and then I'll make sure that gets to the right people, so we can get that shirt sent out to you. Knowing that you are not a Rams fan, I will give you the option to donate, and if you wanted to, if you didn't want the Ram Showcase T-shirt, we will go to number 3. But that is completely up to you. You did win, so that is your call entirely.
He said, it looks like he said, yes, I won, but I thought it was all the Rams gear behind you, Sheriff Joe.
Absolutely not.
And he says, donate it to Payo.
Donate it to Payo.
You know what, Greta, we'll talk. We'll talk off camera.
He says, may I donate it to Payo? It seems like he really wants to.
May I donate to Payo? You know what? I mean, I'm cool with it, but I do have a name here that's supposed to be the runner-up.
Yeah,
see it. Well, how about that? You could say if the runner-up is still in here, he can get it, and then if he's not, Payo gets it.
Ooh.
It's up to you.
Payo?
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
All right. So the runner-up. I'm going to put the name on the screen. I need you to comment within like a minute. All right.
Ooh. Let's see, this will show how dedicated they are to the show. If they left,
if still in, that's a solid username though.
It is.
It's very creative.
Bo2403.
I can't believe how close we are to the Rams game. It feels so close, but it also feels so far.
Blowing my mind.
There he is. I see
Boom.
him.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, man, what I need from you now is send Rams Showcase a message with your shirt size and an address that I can send that to, and we'll get you a Rams Showcase shirt. Oh, also let me know if you want blue, bone, or black. And then if you want it to be this style with just the small logo here or the big logo with the palm trees on it, that's modeled after the Rams Super Bowl ring. So just send me that message and we'll get you hooked up, man. And then feel free to send photos of you rocking the stuff too. If you would like to purchase a Rams Showcase shirt, they are for sale, $25. There's all the information in my descriptions wherever you can listen to Rams Showcase. So is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we hop on out of here?
Just shut up, Grandizer, for being cool.
Dude, yeah, that's awesome. I don't know, like, there's nothing here, by the way, that I would be willing to part with. Like, I love I've got stories of all of this stuff. Like, that's a scary thing for me. Also, there is new merch on the way. I'm not announcing what it is yet, but we got some new Ram Showcase stuff. That is something that I have not seen merch-wise with any other YouTube channel ever. So that's why I chose it. And that's there is some assembly required from myself, but we'll get that together and it's gonna be fun stuff. Payo, I think you know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, right. Grandizer said a funny comment. He was talking about he wants to throw in the prize, the ram head on the banner. He wants to include that in the prize. I would say it would make the setup a lot more boring, so I'm not going to go with that one, Grandizer.
I'm not a man of the people, Grandizer. I'm not. I don't know. Like, I really don't know what I would give away off my walls.
Gatorade bottle?
No.
Okay.
Oh. No,
I didn't see that.
That was the most random stuff over here, dude. This little.
What? Most of the stuff in my setup is just self-created, and so I wouldn't want to get rid of it because I put time into working on them. So
I'm not a man of the people. I will put up. I'll have to show a photo of the. It's not up yet, but an incredible, maybe the best birthday gift I've ever received in my life from Rams house. It's a massive photo. I did not expect it to be that large. Massive photo of my favorite Rams player, Jordan Fuller, rocking my favorite uniform combo, the bone on yellow. Absolutely love it, man. That was super cool. But yes, Bo2403, make sure you send me that message. I'm going to give you 24 hours to send me that. So that's more than enough time. We got LA Rams football back this Thursday, hosting the Buffalo Bills, two teams who are Super Bowl favorites facing off in week 1. This could absolutely be the first game and the last game of this upcoming season. Rams coming off of a Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills feels like they really could have been in there if it wasn't for those 11 seconds against the Kansas City Chiefs last year. So they're in it too. They improved their team as well, just like the LA Rams did. So we are in for quite a treat. It's going to feel like a little bit of a bye week after this game, unfortunately, as we watch the rest of the league play. But guys, we made it. We survived the offseason. We did it.
We're here.
I'm surprised every year that we can make it through it, but this year's no different.
Every year. Hey, everybody that's been hanging out with us, appreciate the heck out of you for coming and chilling, watching us just talk some LA Rams football. And I'll be here every Monday to do our fan quesos segment that will be coming back 1 week from today. So thanks for hanging. And make sure you sub to everybody. Ram Showcase,
yes.
Payo, at Rams House.
Been an awesome time to talk some Rams with you guys.